Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is my friend.
Jesus is a friend of
I
mine.
have a friend in Jesus.
Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother sure didn't.
Fuck you, you creep. Please stop.
Jesus wept.
Another sheriff, I got him.
I got plans for you. I'm gonna slit your eyelids in half so you don't blink when I stab you in the face.
You don't know what death is.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Hey, this is your host, Trevor, with Blood, Guts, and B-Movie Trash Talk, and we watch and review movies that you do not have time for. And as always, I have a lovely co-host here, Steve. Don't skimp on the sexy Normand.
Mitchie baby.
Hello.
Hey, Steve, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Everybody's excited to see you, obviously.
Well, good. I'm glad.
Not
Pleasure
see
to be here.
Not see you, but hear you.
Hear me.
I hear we have a lovely guest today.
That's right. He is from Halloween Town. He loves to shit zoo and shit during work. He invented bonobos and likes to boogie. Sean Leroy Crane.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Sean?
Well, now I'm wishing I had actually invented bonobos because I would be rich.
Can you do at least the evil Leroy laugh?
Possibly.
Do it.
Okay, let me think. Did you guys like that? It was pretty great, right?
That's weak. Do the goddamn laugh.
Okay, fine.
That's the one. I make him do that at work. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Everybody loves me there.
It's fucking loud.
Awesome.
But anyway,
Yeah,
we're not here to talk about Leroy's laughing. We're here to talk about April Fool's Day from 1986, right, Trevor?
Yes, we are. I have not seen this movie in quite some time, so it was nice to get a refresher. If you can, Steve, tell us a little bit about the budget, maybe a little bit about the director if you have some info on him.
A little bit about the budget is the budget was a 5 with I think 6 zeros.
Oh.
So should be a $5 million budget if my zeros are correct. It was written by Sebastian Bach's uncle, Danilo Bach. Not really his uncle. Directed by Fred Walton, who's also not related to Bill Walton.
Unfortunately. Well, it looks like here it did do fairly well. I mean, it probably could have made some more money, but it grossed about $12 million, so it definitely made its money back plus more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I would say we got a goddamn all-star cast here.
We do.
And I noticed the bitch of the movie, Rob, the guy that plays Rob, was also in Leprechaun.
He's our buddy Nathan from Leprechaun, right, Sean?
Yeah, totally. I saw that movie.
He's fucking he beefed up in Leprechaun. He's kind of like a scrawny little dude in this.
Especially when he's wearing those super baggy white undies.
Oh yeah, and like his nuts are hanging out.
Yeah. The redhead is a dolled up version of the survivor girl from Friday the 13th Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say there's another person I recognize, but I don't recall.
Dude,
you guys?
Thomas F. Wilson, Biff.
I think possibly the best part of the movie,
yes.
Biff Tannen.
Yep.
Okay.
I wish he would have just been named Biff in this movie. I don't know, was this before Back to the Future?
It has to have been
86.
after.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad. But yeah, he's definitely my favorite character in this. I wish...
he may not be named Biff, but he does act exactly the same.
Yeah, he's
He's kind of like your Ryan Reynolds type.
Mm-hmm. Exactly like Ryan Reynolds.
Your Adam Sandler type that they can only do them.
Mm-hmm.
80s version of those two guys combined. Like Adam Sandler now, all washed up and terrible, or like Billy Madison Adam Sandler.
Meg Ryan.
Okay.
Hey.
The answer is always Meg Ryan.
All right. Well, enough about that. Now we can kind of jump into this movie. And typically, before I do, Steve always has a question for me, and I love to answer.
Well, Trevor, if you could sum up the movie in about a paragraph or so, sort of like, or exactly like, what may or may not be written on the back of a box, how would you do it?
Well, when Muffy St. John invited her college friends up to her parents' secluded island home for the time of their lives, she forgot to tell them it just might be the last time of their lives. Because as soon as the kids arrive on the island, someone starts trimming the guests' list, one murder at a time. And what starts out as a weekend of harmless April Fool's Day pranks turns into a bloody battle for survival. It's just what you'd expect from the producer who brought you Friday the 13th parts 2, 3, 4, and 5. And Steve,
3, 4, and 5, huh?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Those were the good ones, and then the really shitty one.
Oh man. Can I just say before we get into this that Muffy is a terrible name?
What?
Muffy.
It's better than Buffy.
Well, yes, it is better than Buffy, but man, her parents were mean.
Definitely, it's something you would name the dog. You don't,
right?
You don't
That's
name
right.
a fucking human being Muffy.
Or it's something that you would call her, like behind her back, because you saw her in the showers.
Because and she's got
It's a
muff
cruel nickname that all of the college kids have given her.
We'll jump into this now. I've kind of changed this up. Typically in these great reviews, we go like scene by scene, shot by shot. We're still going to go in depth. However, it's not going to be down to the second of the film. So we'll kind of just go through our expectations. First off, just kind of the good, the bad, and the horrific, our favorite parts of the film and what we liked, and kind of go from beginning to end in doing that. Now, first off, we always start out with credits in movies, but the credit roll was quite fancy with the flashback of an old April Fool's joke that scarred Muffy for life.
That's gone sexy.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to watch the extended clips or the alternate ending.
Nope.
No?
I don't got time for that.
All right. Well, if you did, it's pretty funny because the joke's played on Muffy again with that Jack in the Box. No? Haven't seen it?
Oh,
Sean?
I have not seen that bit of thing.
Okay.
Maybe we should. Maybe you should get into it at the end.
Okay.
That part.
I'll touch
that
base
way.
on
That way we don't ruin anything yet.
All right.
Because we will.
All right. And then we go into a great scene where we meet all the characters. Everybody's gathering at the ferry on their way to this house.
Classy scene.
Yeah, and you get the faint idea of each character as they're introduced via POV from what I believe would be the 1986 finest camcorder money can buy.
Right. Hey, Sean. Do you remember what our friend Nikki says she does?
What does Nikki? No, I don't. What does Nikki do, Steve?
Trevor?
Great question.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
On the first date?
Yeah. That's exactly what she says. She goes through talking about what she's going to do with her life after college and then says she does fuck on the first date.
So do those two dudes that have their arms around each other.
Yes, Biff.
Yeah, there was some nice grab assing going on during those scenes.
Uh-huh.
And they don't...
So when the movie started, though, I was watching it, and I started getting really worried that the entire movie was going to be a found footage film.
A gay porn.
Right? There's a bunch of gay cowboys eating pudding.
Yeah, I kind of felt that too. I'd seen it prior to this, so I knew it wasn't going to be, but it did bring in the idea of the whole overplayed found footage thing, and it put me into a little second of shock. But that would be a terrible found footage film with filmed in 8mm. You get headaches.
Right?
You get headaches now. Can you imagine watching an 8mm? That'd be a headache.
Not to mention that, like, it's an April Fool's Day movie, so there's just a bunch of, like, a guy walking around filming, and then he's just yelling
Surprise, motherfucker!
the whole time as stuff's happening. Surprise! Surprise!
Well, they're all meeting at this dock, and they're going to be heading to this house, and the pranks start immediately. You can tell that this movie's going to live up to its title. And the first prank was fucking pretty classy, and I would have to say
was
well executed. How does, if you could, Steve, describe how this first prank with the knife turns out?
Well, there was some sexy switchblade action,
Indeed.
and the game is apparently to get into a pissing contest with your friend by throwing the switchblade into the ground, and that's all I got from it. I think
It's the game that me and Mitch play every week on Saturday at work.
Yeah, I think the game is you throw the switchblade in the ground and you try to bend over quicker than your friend can jam it in your ass. Is I think what they're doing. And anyway, so they're like arguing and they're like, "Oh, that's not the way you play this game." And you give me my switchblade or whatever. And he like hands it to him, and then the guy like gets all mad and throws it, and it sticks him right in the stomach. And very convincingly, he starts bleeding and falls into the, what do you call that? Is that the ocean?
I don't know. Possibly ocean, lake, one of the
some sort of majestic body of water, and they have to pull this bitch over, and everybody just kind of goes crazy to get this guy out. And guess what? It's a joke. It's a goddamn practical goof.
Steve, would you say that? Well, it's a two-part question here. That a play such as this could not be executed unless Biff was playing the crucial role, or do you, or would you think that Biff is the most valuable player of this prank?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't even know how they executed it. I rewatched that scene a few times, and I was like, how the fuck would you get that to work? You know, like obviously it's a movie, but if you were in person, how do you get that to work without it like you having to catch the knife and like stick it in or something? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was well executed.
He was the MVP of the prank, though. He had to execute it flawlessly, and he did.
He did. He is my he's my Stephen Curry of this movie.
To your Golden State juggernaut.
Yeah. And then after this little prank, one of the guys that jumped in to save, I believe, I can't remember the guy's name that took the knife. But he jumps in to save him, and he stays in the water, I guess, swimming around, and he's going to tie off the boat. What is he doing exactly, Steve? I can't.
Yeah, I think he's going to tie off the boat or something. I'm no boating expert. Sean comes from a long line of wealthy people. What do you think he was doing?
What was he doing?
Well, as everyone who owns a boat knows, you have to tie off the boat, but generally you would do that from the dock so you don't end up getting smashed. I mean, if you don't mind losing your boat, you don't have to tie it up, but it's generally preferred.
And I thought this was funny because he gets smashed, and you think it's gonna be a joke again, but it's clearly not.
You're like, oh no, that boat is wreaking havoc on that dock.
Yeah. So
the only thing I kept thinking that how did he like do that to his eye from getting smashed with a boat though?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised. I saw that happen to Triple H once from a snake.
I guess. I mean, but snakes are deadly.
Have you ever seen a boat?
And see, this is another question you'll ask, and as you know, people who are listening, we spoil the fucking shit out of these movies.
That's right.
At the beginning of the reviews, so you'll run into this dilemma once again, asking yourself, how in the hell did he pull off such a fancy special effects job in the water?
Yeah,
because we find out that this could have been a prank as well, maybe.
May or may not. Yeah. It's hard to say.
But hey, let's not completely destroy the movie as of yet.
We got to build her all the way up before we can tear this baby down.
Yeah, but Buck gets mutilated while being in the water, smashed by the boat, and screams like a pansy bitch. You can still hear him screaming as the boat that's hauling him to the hospital is a quarter of a mile away. It's pretty funny. Buck goes to the hospital, and the rest of the group get to Muffy's rich family getaway. And it seems to me that everybody loves the digs as they arrive. It's one of those fancy, I don't know, politician type getaways.
Fucking manor.
Yeah.
It's bigger than it makes Bruce Wayne look like a poor asshole. This is their vacation house. It's not their regular house.
Yeah, this is something they visit maybe once every couple years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And there's people starving to death, but they have multiple homes. I don't know. But hey, Sean, Steve says that you come from a wealthy line of family. I don't know if he's talking out of his ass.
He's got some blue fucking blood, baby.
Do you have one of these sweet getaway homes?
You have a nice getaway home?
Yeah.
You and the family?
We only have about 7 or 8 mansions. Unfortunately, none of them are on any lakes.
That's a fucking shame.
You think you could arrange that since your dad's like the superintendent or something?
Well, yeah, I mean, all of that superintendent money.
All
you know
that
how they
tax
pay
money.
educators.
All that tax money.
Way overpay them. All of your tax money straight into my pocket and into my beach house.
Can I bring up that this house, when they refer to the girl as Muffin, so apparently her full name is Muffin, not even Muffy, which is even worse.
Do they? Is that her name, or do they ask her what her real name is? Is it really Muffy?
Her real name is, well, they ask her what her real name is. They're like, her real name is Muffy, but I think that it's in this scene, because I have my notes, it says, get to Muffin's house. Like, I'm pretty sure that they refer to her as Muffin on there, as in, like, that's her full name.
Muffin Top.
Muffin.
Well, they get to Muffin's house, and they decide to have a fancy din-din. Now, at this point in time, Biff is that great asshole that we loved watching Back to the Future, but he's not as big of a douchebag in this. I don't know, it's like a tie. I may like him better in this than I did in Back to the Future. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to think on that. But he's still that same old Biff.
I don't know. He's great in everything.
He is. What other movies is play in besides Back to the Future in this? I'd
Get Me Naked Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. That's all.
3 guys, 1 cup.
Best movie ever.
Well,
let's see.
I can't think. Yeah, I'm drawing blanks here.
Speaking of blanks, I do enjoy the scene where he's like, someone in this house will pull his wing, and a hot dog is slipping out of a package.
Doesn't he throw another quote when they're on the dock, talking about calling his male buddy's penis a Twinkie?
Oh yeah, he
Zipper's
does,
down.
huh?
Your Twinkie's showing.
Yep.
Yeah, I recall that. You're talking about Nathan. He's talking to Nathan,
Mm-hmm.
the leprechaun Nathan character.
Nathan's trying to sneak some Twinkies onto the island.
That's a nish.
That's why his fucking underpants, we find out, are so stretched out.
He was smuggling in all the Twinkies.
Oh man,
He's wearing tidy whities and he's smuggling Twinkies.
That's right.
He looks like a previous guest we've had on the show, Steve. Mr. Alex.
What's that? Oh yeah, Dewey.
Yeah, he looks
a little Dewey.
Yeah, it's like almost uncanny. But we find out here that the pranks seem to just come one after another. And I find here as well that these pranks, one of them are picked to expose each character's weakness or fear.
Smart.
Yeah.
Insightful.
And I don't... From this point on, I find whoever the killer is or the stalker to be quite intelligent. Because it would take some homework.
You have to know your victims.
Yeah, and at first going into this, you think that the ferry boat dude could possibly be a killer.
Well, yeah, until you see that really awesome chair scene where it bows down and throws you out of it, and then you're like, "Whew, maybe it's a haunted house."
I really want one of those chairs.
That thing is awesome.
But it's somebody that has the hookup and has the information. So they're definitely making all the group uncomfortable by providing weird S&M bondage type gear in rooms, old newspaper clips of murders and
car wrecks,
etc. And a touchy topic here: abortion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember that character.
That they just kind of glaze over.
Yeah, they just.
Well, this was the 80s, baby. We don't understand.
This is when you could clean it out and not get harassed as much.
Yeah.
But
Scramble its brains up.
yeah, that was pretty funny. The little baby crying. I think so and so left the house. What's that character's name, by the way? I don't recall.
I don't know. It's a smart girl.
Smart
I don't
girl.
know her name.
But even though
Oh, I'd like to. I have the smart girl's toast written down.
let's hear this. She does give
So
a
at the
toast at the
table-
dinner. Yes.
Yeah, at the table she gives a toast and she says, "Cherish the friends you make in college because they'll be the friends you cherish most for the rest of your life." And then they cherish each other throughout the night.
They do.
Oh, do they?
And Biff does the classy while she's giving the little toast there. Oh, Biff.
And then he falls off his chair.
Yes.
Because it bows.
And then they all toast and they drink their wine, and Muffy cut holes in the cups and the wine spills all over everybody. I thought that was a classy little trick there.
Oh, is that what happened? I imagined it was poison or something, and everyone's like, "Ew, this is terrible." That's what I thought.
I don't know. Like, it could have been. I may have watched it completely wrong. What do you think, Sean?
I thought they just were all really terrible at drinking things.
Ah!
I've never done this before.
Muffy got the last laugh.
What is this cup thing?
Oh, Muffy, did you really piss in all 12 of these cups?
Yeah, I thought it was something like that. Muffy gets the last laugh, as you said, because she has to clean the mess up.
She does. And from this point on, I don't respect her because she just said April Fool. She didn't say fools.
Yeah, who the fuck says that?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't respect her after that.
She's not talking about the holiday. Maybe she's just calling them all fools.
But then
Well, she says fool.
yeah, you'd still.
Or she is an April Fool?
We're all the
Maybe.
April Fool. That was an April Fool.
You know, then when this happened, I started thinking about My Bloody Valentine, where so much shit was cut out. I'm like, maybe that had some sort of play at one point in time, but
Mayhaps.
it doesn't. And
Unlike the cut up My Bloody Valentine, though, this one, I thought this movie was good. Like, the cut up My Bloody Valentine couldn't have been very good.
Oh, I agree. And this was pretty good.
So, after that, is it the Biff character with the popped collar?
Yeah, he continuously pops his collar when
Yeah,
he's ready to
he
approach a woman.
Yeah, he decides it's time to pop my collar and make the rounds. So I'm going to go to everyone's door and make the rounds, going to every door to see where he ends up.
Indeed. In the first door, he pops up, I believe it's Muffy's, right?
And she sends him away.
Yes.
She wants the southern boy.
And the second room he walks into after he pops his collar is the... what would you call it? What's that character's name? The cool guy.
Oh, yeah. The guy's just fucking that girl.
Yeah, he just has her in the most awkward position.
Yeah, his legs were bent. Her legs were bent. I couldn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
It does not look like a pleasurable experience.
No, he's got her in like a half Nelson and then has like her legs behind her head.
I imagine that the conversation beforehand was, hey, do you want to have sex? Yes, let's do it in the most uncomfortable position we can think of.
Oh,
Yeah, let's get in a way so that when someone busts in, because they're not going to lock our door, they'll be like, what the fuck is going on in here?
yeah. Or they're both virgins and they needed to both show and expose their genitalia closest to the light to see where the hole was.
Where does it go?
Oh, very odd, very odd. But yes, we have Biff going around trying to get some strange, but this is where the characters kind of split their ways and go to their rooms, and they find all the odd, I don't know what you want to call it, props or things that are kind of making them feel uncomfortable. To start out the prank that's going to ultimately set the tone.
Like the crazy picture with the cutout eyes that looks around like with the cat clock behind it.
Yeah. But Biff then decides, since no girl wants to fuck him, I think he has this problem in every movie he's in.
Yeah.
But he then resorts to a nudie mag. And right before he can spank the snake, the chair breaks. Another knee
Bends again.
Yeah,
He sits down on the same chair. It's amazing.
another knee slap and prank by the host. Good on you, Muffy.
Right, she snuck that one chair from in there into his room.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Now, here's where we run into the first kill or missing person in the garage or like the...
Some sort of utility boathouse / shed.
Yeah, something like that. I don't recall this character's name, but he seemed quite depressed and drunk.
Isn't he one of the Switchblade pranksters?
I think so.
He's like Sparky or something like that. It's another dog's name.
Oh,
He's 50% of the Switchblade prankster crew.
yeah, it is Sparky. You're right.
Right.
And what?
He's going exploring, trying to find random weeds that he can smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea, probably.
Yeah, classy. He just lights the weed and then holds it in his hand and just inhales the smoke. He doesn't waste any time wrapping it up or putting it in some type of pipe.
God, and yeah, it doesn't waste any time considering the repercussions that smoking something like poison ivy might wreak on your lungs or anything like that.
I know.
Good for him. That's right. Thank you, sweet Georgia.
But then we find that he gets pulled into the garage and he's probably killed. And he doesn't return back into the house. Everybody else goes to sleep, has sex, gets drunk, whatever. Now, the next day they all wake up bright and early. Harvey, the hick, or the already ready for life after college guy, is using some sort of enlarged dildo to work out his biceps.
Yes.
It's like one of those 4 feet long dildos, like the double time ones that...
Dude.
South Park would have had a heyday if they had this instead of the shake weight.
Oh. Yeah. But also...
So I like that he's out exercising with this giant phallus, and the girl peeks her head out of the window, and he sees her and springs to attention.
Phallic symbol.
Yeah, and he gives a nice hello, and she just looks at him like a creep and then pulls her shirt closed and walks back into the room. She ain't having any time, or she doesn't want any of that. But the funny thing is they decide that hey, it's such a great morning, we're going to go play some fucking soccer.
Yeah.
Now, these are rich kids. I don't know why they are not excessively drinking pricey booze and doing copious amounts of cocaine at this point.
Right, we're playing
A rich man's sport.
because back then this was not.
Yeah, like
They should have been playing tennis.
polo or fucking croquet. Like you pull out the
Penis
soccer
butt.
ball. Sean, I hate to ask you the question again because it seems that you do come from a wealthy line. Do you play soccer at your getaway homes? Is that
We would not be caught dead with a soccer ball anywhere near the grounds.
Volleyball at the most, right?
At most a volleyball. If one of our servants
We
was
love
caught with a
servants.
soccer ball, they would be taken out back and shot.
Sometimes we'll watch the servants play volleyball for sport.
All right. So after the soccer play, Rob and his girlfriend decide to go mope around a bit more because it seems that Rob is quite the depressed baby bitch in this film. He's just, I don't know, very upset about the fact that he's not going to be going to medical school.
Yeah, I kept thinking that the guy told him he couldn't go to medical school because he was too serious, but he didn't do anything in this movie that wasn't serious.
Exactly. I think
He's super serious. He's the only character in the movie that is serious 100% of the time.
Yeah,
And he hates those trick light bulbs too.
Right? He doesn't play any pranks on people. He is not amused by anybody else's childish pranks.
Wears white underwear.
Right?
Yeah, he is definitely the serious person here. It's a irony at its best. It doesn't make too much sense. But his girlfriend decides that she's going to bang him out of pity. And they walk into that little boathouse shed, whatever you want to call it. And at this point, I just don't understand why his girlfriend doesn't tell him he's a bitch. But as they're about...
Because she's lucky to have him.
Ah.
We've all seen her in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Well, he does. He was in Leprechaun, so.
Yeah, but him and Jennifer Aniston wasn't out of the question in that movie, and this girl was dating that weird-looking camp counselor.
True.
She had a car that wouldn't even run. I don't trust her.
Maybe she's got like a little baby toe dick or something, and he's just okay with, he accepts her for who she is. I don't know, but I don't understand why. I don't know. He's a whiny bitch, and she sticks around. But anyways, as they're about to get it on the wooden planked floor, they find the first dead person floating in a raft, and this is poor little Skip.
Yep.
Yeah. Rob goes and screams, drawing everybody's attention towards what they had seen in there, and they all decide to go off and start looking for Skip because he's apparently disappeared off this raft.
Wait a minute.
Well, and my name's...
We just saw him floating underneath, but instead of trying to find him, we all ran to get you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we can't find him.
Or better than that, you were floating under this shack on a raft, and my name's Biff. I'm going to go search for you through the forest.
Yeah.
It makes fucking sense at all, but it was pretty funny.
You guys want to know what the best... Actually, I'll just bring it up later.
Okay. Well, don't forget to bring that up, Steve.
I'll write it down.
Everything you say, every little word that comes out of your mouth, I find vitally important.
Good. That's good to hear.
Now, Biff walks through the forest trying to find this dead person that was found in the water. And he is lassoed by the leg through a
snare.
Yeah, some snare trap, and is
after walking past the snare trap about 7 times.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
if you missed it the first 6 times, you'll get it on the 7th.
And to top things off, we're gonna put a little garden snake down there to hiss and bite at you.
Yeah, he was hissing.
Yeah, and then the killer comes up, kicks the snake, which probably made PETA people quite uncomfortable.
That'll show him.
And then it cuts. So we have 2 kills here that we don't actually see the action. We don't see the kills happen. We just assume.
And this is where I started to sense a pattern that I wasn't actually going to be able to see anybody die in this movie.
Sean was left with the raging kill hard on that just would not be satisfied.
Just nothing satisfying it.
It's one of those big boners you have, and they just deflate at a rapid pace because it's just so ridiculous. But yeah, it reminded me. I started getting flashbacks of Final Exam. I'm like, oh no, what's going on here? We're not seeing any kills. What's going on?
Yeah, where you think that maybe it's the budget, like they don't have enough budget to show you a kill scene, or maybe it was edited out.
Yeah. So after this, Nikki goes down or Nikki and Harvey, I guess they all find out, and the group finds out that there's no more water in the house, so they need to get water for the rest of the weekend. I guess
based on the blood coming out of the fucking tap.
Yeah, blood, poop. I don't know what it was.
Some weird shit.
Yeah, but anyways, Nikki and Harvey decide to go to this well, and due to Harvey's incompetency, he drops the bucket down the well.
But don't count out Nikki, because she drops the fucking light down the well.
She drops a deuce down the well. But no,
they're both very competent people.
Yes, Harvey is supposed to be this tough, rugged farm kid, but does not want any part of crawling down into that well, even though there's a ladder to grab the bucket.
And to this point, we think it's just a well, so there shouldn't be any danger in the well.
Yeah.
See, I figured that he was worried that if he crawled down, Nikki would shut him into the well, because, I mean, I don't trust Nikki either.
I don't trust girls.
Well, yeah, and the whole...
If I go down there, she's just going to trap me in there and kill me.
And then just say...
She's a girl.
Yeah, and then say April Fools, and then leave you down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess you can kind of...
You can't take any chances during April Fool's, because during April Fool's Day, everybody you know is a complete dick.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that girl, because she dropped the light.
Right.
You know, I thought Biff was going to be a bigger asshole in this, but he,
kind of was a good guy.
Yeah.
He dies too early. See, that's the problem.
That is the problem. Yeah, he has...
The movie would be a lot better if there was more Biff in it.
I agree. He has limits in this movie. And he does definitely die prematurely, which disappointed me a bit. But they go down in this well, or they both don't. Actually, Nikki goes down first because Harvey's a pussy. Now, Nikki gets down there, and she is greeted by her missing friends, but they all seem to be decapitated. And
Nothing wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong with that. Now, these special effects are pretty great, wouldn't you say?
I would. They definitely look like the real thing.
Yeah, Biff looked like Biff.
Mm-hmm. The heads look like they've been pickling in some water.
Mm-hmm. Now, at this point, Harvey goes down as well, and he tries pulling Nikki back up because the ladder broke and she fell into this water. So he eventually gets her out, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and...
Well, so when he goes down to get her, she's floating there with two heads, and then all of a sudden a body of a girl pops up, too.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys were as confused as I was, because I had no idea who it was. Because before this point in the movie, there's no hint of a kill scene of a girl.
Yes.
Right.
So it took me a while to realize that you weren't seeing the one smart girl anymore, so she must have been the one that died.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because I was like, who the hell was that? Just some other girl, and then like a scene later, I was like, oh, it must be the smart girl dead.
Do you want me to spoil it?
No. Well, not yet.
Not spoil the movie, but I may have an answer to this. I don't think it was the smart girl as of yet. Could it have been Muffy's body?
It did look a little like I wasn't sure if it was Muffy, but then I was like, maybe it's the smart girl, because she kind of looked like she was dressed like the smart girl, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it has to be the smart girl because you never see her again in the movie.
Gotcha.
So it has to be her, and she just died off screen conveniently sometime.
Well,
did you guys like when the Southern guy says to Nikki, "I'd really like to plow your field"?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good.
He was kind of a classy guy until that point. And then he just like
well, it worked for his Southern thing.
Yeah. And she like took no offense. She just kind of smirked and was like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna bang this guy."
Yeah, probably. Like as soon as we get out of the well.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna crawl.
See,
down
his chances were pretty good until he pussed out and wouldn't go down the well, and then she was like, "Yeah, not doing him."
Yeah.
Not very strong for a Southern boy. Southern boy, plow your field.
That's where he fucked up, because when you say something like that,
you just gotta follow up
to a girl, and she just doesn't call you a fucking creep. I mean, they don't know each other very well, and you say that, and it goes okay. You know, there's gonna be some ass play,
right? It's like on Jane
if she
Silent
tells
Bob
you to
Strike
do
Back.
something manly, if she tells you to do something manly, then you have to do it. Otherwise, you've ruined all of your chances.
Yeah.
Or you could just not go for the manly thing at all and do the more manly thing right there. Eh?
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
This is like on the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back trouser snake scene, where if he was to pull it out and she doesn't run away screaming, then there you go.
You're golden. He ran to the toilet. He ran to the toilet and shit on the floor in this one.
Yep.
Oh gosh. But see, the reason I bring up Muffy is because right after this, and we see that body down in there, we find that Muffy has become kind of haggard looking.
Oh yeah,
and kind of weird, and you're kind of like, what the hell? This isn't the normal Muffy.
And she was like, I didn't get a chance to get ready, and like runs off, and you're like, what the hell happened to you? I thought that too.
Yeah, so...
Right, but that happened before, so...
Yeah,
I think she was just weird all day.
But what
she did get progressively more weird.
She did.
More and more weird.
Now, we've touched base on this earlier, but I got to bring up the abortion talk again. Now, the group meets up together and they discuss everything that they've found in their rooms that have brought up some sort of personal issue within their life. And they all go on the defensive and immediately start hating each other. And Rob decides that he's going to call the police earlier on when they find the first dead bodies, and they have no luck. But then they finally get through and they get a phone call, and Rob answers. And this is interesting because the gentleman on the phone, the authority figure, I don't know who it is, but he tells the group to stick together and also says something about Muffy. And we find out later on that the guy had told him not to trust Muffy. So there's some weird things going on here with Muffy.
Yeah, she's acting weird. She's clearly looks like she's up to something.
Yeah.
She gets more squirrely by the minute.
Yeah, she's haggard. But typically this is where the film wanted you to write off the ferry boat guy.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote him off a long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't think it was him.
Closer to the beginning, because no guy working on a ferry boat has special info on these kids. So
Yeah, it seemed far too personal for just some random ferry boat guy.
Yeah, I agree. But even though they were told to stick together, they all decide to split their separate ways. And Rob
immediately.
Yeah, and Rob finds it convenient to find his way up into the attic for some fucking reason. He's like, I'm going to go up in the attic. I can probably see the flare better from up there. Because what the authority had told him is that he will be shooting off a flare when he gets close, and then we'll all walk down together, meet at the boat, and leave back to the mainland. Now, Rob was... Let's see here. This is where they start running into other pranks, and we start running into more deaths here, right, Steve?
Yeah,
Right, so the two go up to the attic, the other two go to Nikki's bedroom, and then the hick, for some reason, goes to his bedroom and grabs a gun that we never see again.
Yeah, that he had all along.
Yes.
And he also doesn't bust out.
Which I saw that, and I thought, who brings a gun to a friendly get-together at your friend's house? That guy.
A sane American. That's who. A goddamn hero.
So I thought that at some point in the movie it would, show up again at all or be mentioned. Never see it again.
Yeah, he just puts it in the back of his pants.
Puts it in his ass crack.
Yeah, puts it in his ass crack. He just likes the feel of cold, smooth steel down his ass crack.
Yeah.
Makes him feel comfortable, like the good old days.
Coors, the banquet beer.
So who dies next, Steve?
Well, Chaz is found dead with an S&M mask on and blood all over his crotcho area. So we got good old dead Chaz and said girl with the S&M room, Nikki, right?
Yeah, Nikki decides to pack up. She's leaving. She doesn't want any part of this. And she comes back into the room, and her boy toy has the mask on still, and he's holding his penis, and she keeps throwing jokes at him like, oh, it's too late for that, I'm not gonna fuck you. What, are we gonna play hide and seek? You show me yours first, then I'll show you mine, blah blah blah. And then she finally pulls his hand away, and his
the guy had a throbbing Robin, baby.
He had no more penis.
No.
Now who's the next one to be found dead?
Sean.
I wasn't the next one to be found dead.
You were not.
No, I want you to tell me, Sean.
Oh, okay. Well, so Nikki discovers, what's his name, Chaz?
Yep.
And then the door slams shut behind her, and it fades again away from her, so you assume that she's dead. And it goes back up to the two guys in the attic that I don't remember their names either, Rob and whatever his girlfriend's name is.
If I recall, Harvey was hanging in his neck by his hanging by his neck in his fucking closet.
Yeah.
But he was hogtied. He was hogtied hanging, and
hogtie is so great.
Yeah. And this is another thing too. Muffy is the scrawny, haven't slept in weeks, crazy bitch, and just seeing how all these people have been killed, decapitated, thrown down wells, hogtied and hung, it's like she does not
Yeah, they're all worried that it's her, and she's just tiny.
Yeah, I just can't. I started getting the hint that something's a little fishy, or somebody else is helping her out.
Almost like she's in league with Jason Voorhees, or Man of That Strength.
I like that phrase, in league.
Yeah,
it's a good phrase. So now we run into the attic. Now they're up in the attic and they see the flare go off, right?
Yeah.
And
they also find some classy dolls in the attic of the people that are dead, and they're like, oh shit.
Fatality.
Now they find these Barbie dolls all placed nice and neatly in positions on how they were actually killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You see a few of the Barbie dolls and Ken dolls in like a cup of water or a bowl of water, and then you see a few others stabbed, and they definitely see that Nikki and the cool guy are stabbed and killed, and their next step is to run out to the boat because they saw the flare. They run out there, and what do they find, Steve?
Well, they I don't remember what the hell they find, actually.
They find nothing.
They find an empty boat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They find nothing. The keys are taken out of the boat, but they do, well, I sound like a fucking idiot. They actually do find something. They find a note. It's like a letter.
Oh, yeah.
And this letter goes over, it's like a medical letter of some sort, right?
Yeah, it's like she was at the insane asylum or something crazy, right?
Yes, exactly.
Is that the one?
Yeah. So Rob's girlfriend puts two and two together and finds out that this crazy bitch that Muffy is actually not Muffy. It was her
Buffy.
It was Buffy, her twin sister. She had other clues. She saw a picture in the study earlier on in this film. Two little girls that looked identical. So this is why I brought up why I think it could have been that decapitated head being Muffy, maybe because her twin killed her. I don't know. It's possible.
That's some dark shit.
It is. But they decide they do not want to wait outside any longer because they don't have the keys to the boat and they need to get the keys. So they run back inside, and the only way to get inside is through this creaky window in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the basement, they see a trail of blood. And what is this? What do they find behind the picture, Steve?
They find nothing less and nothing more than a severed head that looks like the Muffster.
Yes. And so they find Muffy dead, and they freak out because they see that Muffy's twin sister Buffy is nailing the window shut, so they're locked inside the house.
Yeah.
They're running around like chickens with their head cut off, trying to find a way out of there, and Buffy keeps revisiting them, staring at them through windows from outside and stuff.
Poking the door open with a knife.
Yeah, she actually fits the fucking knife through the door. Pretty funny. And may I add, though, the knife that Buffy is carrying is quite... it's a respectable knife, Steve.
Yeah, it's borderline machete.
Yeah.
It is comically overlarge.
Very phallic.
Yeah.
Though I do like when she's penetrating the door that her eyes just get really wild and crazy looking.
Yeah.
She likes the gook.
Now, you can see that she's been crying. She has like mascara dripping down her face. That bitch was not wearing makeup earlier. So
she locked herself in a room, got all duded up. I think is the term.
Bang.
You gotta put on your crazy face before you can go kill people.
That's true.
Yeah. Professional pride.
She got all got her hair did and makeup on and went and
Get all fancied up for the ball.
Banged Biff's dead body and then decided that she'd come back to the party. But she runs around and gets inside the house. I'm speaking of Buffy, and she traps Rob's girlfriend in like a family room of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And
and Rob locks himself in a closet.
Yeah, and he's too stupid to figure out how to get out of there.
Yeah, and all he can do is scream, "I love you."
I love you.
Her name
as he cries.
Yeah. But I believe her name's Kat. She's backing up as Buffy's gonna stab her, and Buffy, for some strange reason, stabs above her head, and doesn't stab her, and the door behind her opens.
And then
what happens?
Go ahead, Sean.
So she stumbles into the room, and all of her friends are sitting in the family room, completely ignoring her while she's screaming.
Surprise!
And that's what happens. Everybody is alive and well, and they're completely ignoring her. And her reaction is ridiculous, I would say.
Well,
she says something along the lines of, "You guys, fuck, really?" Like it just like takes it just like not like knee slapper, like, "Oh, you got me this time." And
you guys,
as somebody from our work used to say, "You guys."
And
the penis and the pigtails.
And while
she's in the room complaining about her friends just being jerks. Meanwhile, Rob is still in the pantry screaming.
That's right.
Rob is in this closet thinking about his girlfriend being killed and crying and screaming like a baby.
I love you.
Yeah, and she's being told the whole rundown of the joke, but finally Rob gets approached by what's his name? The dude that was nearly smashed by the boat at the beginning at the dock.
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
But he cuts him loose.
Indeed. He scares the shit out of him and takes his fake eye off that he so conveniently and strategically placed on his face while he was in the water.
Somehow.
And puts it on Rob's face, and Rob doesn't put two and two together and see that it's a joke, and he runs out into this living room and sees that everybody's alive and well.
But not before the guy who almost got smashed by a boat tells him that he loves him too, and then kisses him on the neck.
Oh yeah, he definitely tries to slip in a little peck there. But I thought that was, going back to the start of this, I immediately started thinking about the special effects. I'm like, how in the world did he put that?
Yeah, where did he have that? Was it saved under the boat or something?
I don't know. I all I can do is applaud him. And these are rich kids, so maybe they had, the greatest technology money could buy. I don't know. I guess that's the only excuse I could come up with.
I think so.
Yeah, but that's basically what happens. This is a huge, giant, elaborate prank that Muffy put together because even though she is a wealthy individual, in order for her to keep the house, she needs to find some sort of gig that will provide the money to keep that house. And that would be a whodunit type weekend getaway Clue-esque bed and breakfast.
Yeah, country home weekend.
Yeah. And it's funny thing about that is Clue was actually came out the same year, and this was like, the movie Clue with fucking what's his name?
I'm familiar with the board game.
Yeah, have you never seen the movie?
No.
Well, the movie's fantastic.
It is. And
really?
What is the actor's name that played it, and he also played in Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Oh, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Yes, Tim Curry's the butler.
Sing that Tim Curry song, Sean.
Which Tim Curry song?
About that song about the Tim Curry sings about your dog turning into a umbrella or whatever.
What?
Halloween dog. Halloween dog.
Oh, you mean from the greatest movie ever made, The Worst Witch?
Yes.
Yeah. Where anything can happen on Halloween.
Oh, will you sing it?
Anything can happen on Halloween.
Nice.
That's all I can remember right now.
What about the dog turning into a cat or whatever?
I don't know. There's something about your dog could turn into a cat, and your sister could turn into a bat, or
tambourine.
My favorite part is that they start running out of rhymes to Halloween, and so it's like they rhyme Halloween with tambourine and begin the begin, and
pretty great.
It's ridiculous. I would suggest anyone who's listening to this do not watch that movie.
I will not.
Sister's favorite.
Now, right when I saw that this spoiled and it was actually no one died and that this was a joke, I immediately started Goosebump book. Wasn't this some sort of novel before it was a movie?
I don't know.
I believe it actually was. Much about it. I didn't do too much research, but that's on another note. But anyways, the first thing I thought was, how in the fuck did Muffy recreate the characters' decapitations, dead bodies, and all this, and then this goon, friend that she has is like a special effects artist, and I'm just like, oh fucking how, you got it. You know, it was one of those things that I would have took and put in this review and said, you know what, didn't make sense, fucking hated it, but she slyly slipped that one in there to explain it. And
I gave it to her because all I ever ask in a movie is to entertain me. Indeed. So I was like, okay.
Indeed. Now,
whatever you want, Muffy.
Yeah. Now, the killer, I want to discuss just a little bit, which was Muffy. Sure.
Okay.
What were you
I was going to ask you what you thought about the very last scene.
Just the scene where everything
where she's got the puzzle box, or she's got the music box.
Oh, the little
twisting it around.
The little Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
And she's going back. She's winding it and gonna go back to her childhood because apparently that was the first joke that was played on her. Was that Jack in the Box and a little monster popped out instead of a clown?
Get her.
And smart girl, I believe, sneaks up behind her and supposedly slits her throat.
Yeah. What's the deal with that? Like. So what ends up happening there?
So that's just another prank that they played to try to get back at Muffy.
It's just another damn prank.
Yeah, but I thought.
Now if she had actually died that
would have been cool
for making fun of this girl having an abortion, and she just goes crazy and slits her friend's throat for it.
That'd have been great.
If they had ended the movie that way, I would have loved it because it would have been great.
And somebody would have died.
And somebody would have died, but it just ends up being another Goosebumps book.
And it would have been one of those situations like, that'll show you. You don't make fun of abortion.
Don't make fun of my abortion or I will slit your throat.
Abortion's still a touchy topic. Fucking jokes aside, I'm going to kill you just because you fucking played a tape with baby crying and it made me think.
I don't get why it's a big deal, though. It's an abortion. It's not like it was like she had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's one of the many threads that just kind of goes nowhere.
Oh, do you want to know what else was cool?
Yeah.
So that was the ending, but one thing that I thought was great is it turns out Skip is Muffy's brother.
Yes.
And the party scene breaks out, and Three Dog Night starts playing. It's like, Mama told me not to come. That was great.
Dude, that was way great. I agree. That just put
with the one guy who's dancing with the severed head of Muffy.
Yeah, and he gets he puts it down low.
He's gonna take that to bed tonight.
Yes. Biff.
So what I wrote down then was, since they were all alive, I didn't want to spoil it before, but I wrote this down to bring it up now.
Yeah.
The guy in the raft was planning on just floating under those two while they were getting naked in that boathouse. What would have happened if they wouldn't have saw him? Like, he just gets some weird under the boathouse view, weird balls like touching the floor view.
Just rubs one out really quick and
yeah,
finds some sort of way to catch their attention. Yeah, but I feel like everything was like, it wasn't that it was strategically planned out. It was just like everything just happened perfectly by chance for Muffy, and it worked out.
What is it?
But I almost just played a clip from Dead Heat If you had
Too
the
bad. Should have played it.
Not only that, if you multiply the population of Rhode Island by the square root of my ex-wife's weight.
God.
Cuts to a new scene.
Oh,
Joe
boy.
Piscopo.
But pretty classy. I like the end.
Yeah.
When I first watched this, I was just like, what the fuck?
Could have been a little better.
Yeah, I was like, M. Night Shyamalan should definitely take a note or two, because this was like one of those twists where you're just like, whoa, that was actually pretty decent. You covered up all your tracks.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A lot of people hate this movie because...
Well, fuck a lot of people. I hate a lot of people.
Yeah, but because of the ending. But I think it works. Like, it's April Fool's. Like, what the fuck did you expect?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. But the killer, Steve, we'll start with you first. What do you think of Buffy?
Well, I think before we jump into our reviews, I would like to just remind the people at home that they might like this movie if they like exploding cigars, tree snares that also include snakes, severed head blowjobs, girls named Muffy, Survivor girls dressed as Mankind the Wrestler, and playing hide the sausage with your fellow male roommate.
And Biff.
And Biff, the friendly purple bear.
God, I'm so glad Biff was in this. Well, the killer, Steve, what did you think of Buffy?
She was okay. She didn't really wear any costume, but she was kind of creepy looking anyway, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
She definitely isn't... I mean, this is obviously what separates this movie from something like Friday the 13th is the fact that she just didn't have an iconic look. Like, if she did, this movie was actually, like, put together just as well as any of the other fucking...
Sure, if not better.
80, yeah, exactly. 80s movies. Like, they actually, like, knew what they were doing more than some of the things that are popular just because it's the way somebody looked.
Yeah.
So I thought she was okay. What about you guys?
Yeah. Well, just a comment on that. I think she did look okay. She wasn't iconic looking, but I think that had to just do with the fact that she was playing the twin role. And
yeah.
She couldn't really, like, in order for it to work, I mean, yeah, she probably could have dressed up or, covered her face with something or looked kind of weird, but she wouldn't have been able to play the twin role and play as Muffy in most cases. But maybe she could have pulled it off. But what do you think about her, Sean?
Well, I think when she went and put on her killer face, she did a good job. I mean, they make her look creepy. She has the crazy eyes going on. There's, like Steve said, there's nothing terribly rememberable about the killer. It's not a killer that you can build a franchise on.
No,
but I think it works really well in the movie. So
yeah,
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I agree with you. With both you guys, she doesn't have like a good look, and as much as they try to make her look psychotic and crazy, she just wasn't.
I was really glad though that they didn't go the initiation slasher movie route by being like suddenly surprise it is her twin sister, because I was worried it was going to go there.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
Just both of them standing there. I know that would have been kind of weird.
You're like, okay, so suddenly they pull that sometimes. That's a card people sort of pull sometimes.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, here you go. So
it would be kind of nice if it had ended up that it was her twin sister, but that they were both crazy and they were both killing people.
Well, that would have been way more badass, but because that's the twofer.
Or maybe her sister, even though they're playing a joke, her sister's still like crazy
on the loose and is crazy.
Goes on a spree and like starts killing people. But I did mention that there was
that could be a sequel.
There was an alternate ending to this, and there actually are kills in the alternate ending. Like people get upset about this, and I believe one of the characters attempts to kill Muffy because of jealousy and things like that. You have to watch it and check it out. It's kind of cool, but I think the film worked the way it was done. I think it was kind of ruined.
Do you remember which character tries to kill people?
Well, I apologize, but I did not watch it. I just read about it. I believe it was, I want to say it's Harvey. Harvey.
Oh, because he has a gun.
But don't quote me there, and I'll find out, and I'll post it like on Twitter if it's mentioned, and just to clarify for my own sanity, because it's gonna drive me nuts. But yeah, definitely check it out. But from what I gathered, it didn't work well, and it's kind of a letdown because the whole movie you find out that no one's killed, and then one person dies, and you're just like, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
but,
I guess it.
Yeah, I think it worked well, and Buffy, she's just homely looking. She carries a huge ass knife, which I respect her for. I haven't seen that kind of knife in a slasher film, and I could tell right off the bat that she would not be able to overpower anyone she killed. So that was kind of a downer. But other than that, she is mediocre. Better than Final Exam.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You don't happen to know if they're like, because I was looking around when I was buying this DVD.
Yeah.
You don't know if there's like one that's an extended one or that has like a director's cut ending or anything that's on it. Do you?
No. Good question. So I was looking too. There's actually there isn't.
Yeah, because I looked and I was like, fine, whatever.
Yeah, there isn't. They have a few you can buy with like different artwork on them, but that's pretty much it. You'll notice on the cover that the alternate ending, depending on what version you have, on the back of the cover has the alternate ending, like a photo of the alternate ending in it, and it doesn't even play in the movie. So you're just confused when you kind of compare the two. But the funny thing is with the amount of movies that are re-released, like those Blu-ray special editions, this is one that I think should be, and it's fucking not. Like, we bring this up like every other episode, but it's like, you're going to re-release Night of the Demons, but you're not going to fucking re-release this.
Yeah, which made me want to kill the cast a whole lot less, this movie.
Yeah. But now, what do you think of the score? And let's go with Sean first.
Well, I didn't notice the score, so I think it did its job.
That's what I said last week. I agree.
I don't know, like nothing in the score really stood out to me. Sometimes there's some.
Ooh,
nice. Sometimes in movies, there's this epic moment, and the score just makes the moment, but there weren't anything like that in this one.
Yeah, the only epic was Mama Told Me Not to Come.
Right. So it's a decent score. It's not detracting from the movie, but I don't think it really adds anything special.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve?
I think exactly the same thing. In fact, it sounded like he was just quoting exactly what I said about Dead Heat. Like exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But I agree. But the Mama Told Me Not to Come part was pretty awesome, and I thought like that is the best choice, like pretty sweet.
Yeah, that fit. I thought that was perfect. The score, it was kind of like Friday the 13th-esque, like with the little whistling in the background, and it was a little similar. It wasn't the ch-ch-ch, but it reminded me of that. There wasn't any retarded 80s synth that I thought there'd be. And they made up for it with the last track at the end, which was pretty cool, but it did a poor ass job building up tension or building up scares in the movie. Like, it was just irrelevant. Like, it didn't do anything for me. Yeah. So I'd say it was kind of a subpar score.
Yeah.
It was no Dead Heat. I did buy that on vinyl.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, I haven't got it yet, but I bought it.
Nice.
I'm so fucking excited to play that on vinyl, dude. That Dead Heat song has been stuck in my head for like 3 weeks.
Daddy!
Like, it's such a great song. I mean...
It's a good one.
Now, this is my favorite part of the review here, and this is where we give our ratings. Now, if Steve would like to explain how the rating system works.
We rate it 1 through 5 dumpsters, 5 being an all dumpster fire, and 1 being the best a B movie could be because you need at least 1 dumpster. Sean, why don't you, as the guest, go ahead and tell us what you thought and give us your dumpster.
Ooh, I feel so honored. Well, so the movies, the movie's entertaining. There aren't really any parts that drag. The acting's pretty good. All in all, it's a good, well put together movie. The plot makes sense. I think I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I would have given it a 2, maybe even a 1.5 if you had seen any of the kill scenes. I mean, even just one.
Well, then it would have given it away, though, don't you think? Like, because if you would have saw the kill scene, you would have been like, oh wait, that's a fake knife. Because remember, that was a retractable blade.
Yeah.
I know. I think there's a way they could have done it.
They could have
that
had
it still
like
would have been justifiable.
Yeah, they could have had like the kills in front of some of the other people, and they could have like pretended to kill them somehow. I mean, it could have been done.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's some way that they could have done it. I don't mind that they do the cutaway with most of them. I would have just liked to have seen one kill.
Got ya. Well,
but
watch the alternate ending. You might like it.
Oh.
Now, Steve, what do you think? What are you gonna rate?
Well, all I ask is to be entertained. So I actually considered giving it a 1, but I'll give it a 1.5 dumpsters because it's pretty easy to watch. It was fun, entertaining. You may be able to watch this through your work day if you work on a day that nobody's there, like a Sunday, say.
Indeed.
And it'd fit the mood of a particular Sunday with a nice warm weather beating through your big windows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would give it 1.5. I liked it. The thing that could have raised it a little higher is, maybe a little bit, maybe a kill somewhere, like an accidental kill, or I don't know if she had a more iconic look, but you can't really fault her. I think that if it was the idea that I think Sean had, where there was 2 killers and they were the twins, that would have been pretty fucking badass. Yeah. But yeah, I'd give it a 1.5. What about you?
Nice. I'm going to rate it a 1.
Ooh,
yeah,
look at you. Ooh.
The reason I do is because I like to read other reviews of the movies as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, I just like to see what other people think about it and then take my judgment on it and I don't know, see if they're right or wrong. But anyways, after watching this a second time, I appreciated it a lot more, especially with the storytelling. And the writing was it was well done. I mean, it threw you for a giant loop. Even though you find out no one died, that can be a downer and a detractor, and a lot of people hate it for that. But I think it was April Fool's. Like, it follows its fucking title, so it fits. The acting, they had a pretty damn great cast. Like, the cast was great. There wasn't horrible acting. It was shot very well. It was sort of like B-movie royalty almost. Yeah, like it only had a $5 million budget, but it looks better than half the movies we watched that had a bigger budget. So
yeah,
it looked great. The special effects were decent. And I think the only detractor for me is the fact that they haven't re-released it with, commentary and alternate endings and, special features and things. But I give it a 1 simply because it gets bashed on and it doesn't get the credit it deserves.
That's good.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the remake?
There's a remake?
2015, isn't it?
It's got Scout Taylor Compton from Halloween remake and a couple other people.
Is it how new is it?
I think it came out either slightly before Rob Zombie's Halloween or slightly after the first one. But I had seen that one before I had seen this one. So in that one, there is a scene where somebody gets accidentally killed because of during the prank thing, and it goes wrong.
Yeah.
And so the remake is actually from what I remember, pretty decent. And so I expected somebody, since it was a remake, to be following the same tropes and somebody to get accidentally killed. And I think that's might be the only reason that I gave it 1.5 instead of a 1, is because of my expectation to somebody possibly being killed based on a mistake. But it doesn't really I don't remember it spoiling. It's not like a shot for shot remake. It's just a similar idea, I think, from what I recall.
Yeah.
For example, these people were like, it's a debutante and her rich friends in North Carolina is what that story is. But I mean, it's like along the same lines, but in a big mansion, but not quite the same. So
Gotcha.
it didn't spoil anything for me, but I just expected somebody to, when they revealed at the end that it was all just a big April Fool's Day joke, I expected somebody to accidentally get killed or somebody to get killed for some reason. So that might be the only reason I gave it 1.5 instead of 1.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm taking a look at this April Fool's. It was 2008. It just has the shittiest reviews. Worst.
Dude, I don't remember it wasn't too bad.
Huh. Yeah, it looks like the director was Mitchell Altieri. Young chap, but he really hasn't done anything spectacular. Just a bunch of B-movie stuff.
This killed his career.
Yeah. But no, I thought this was a good movie. I think it's the highest rating that I've given so far, a solid one. But,
you didn't give it to MBV?
Did I give it a 1 or 1.5? I can't remember. Oh no.
I remember I gave MBV 1, so I don't know.
I don't know, but no, this was good. I recommend watching it. It's something I could definitely rewatch and probably will revisit every April Fool's. Maybe have a few beers watching. I don't know.
You gotta. It's basically you got the market. It's got its own corner on the market of April Fool's Day movies.
Indeed, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to make people watch it because I think it doesn't get the respect it deserves.
That's right.
A lot of people haven't seen this, and it's like a pretty big movie. Like, I'm sure you guys, when you were younger, going into like video stores, you just had those VHS covers like you have them embedded in your brain. And this was
like that crazy Halloween pumpkin knife.
Yep, and this is one of them. Like one of the covers I'd always seen, and I remember watching it when I was younger. But good movie. I recommend it.
Indeed.
But other than that, that's another review down the drain, and we'll continue to do one every few weeks. You can always follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at Trevor Turpin. You can follow at Steve Norman at B-Movie Trash Talk. And is there any way that we can give Sean's info so people can harass you, Sean?
I don't believe in social media, so therefore it does not exist.
Nice. Good call.
Uh-huh.
I found that a pie chart that I've put together proves that a little more than 3/4 of our guests do not participate in the social media.
Quitters.
But never beginners.
Other than that, that's it. Anything else we should add?
Yeah.
Mitch comes from a long line of goddamn ragheads.
That's all.
Mitch is the Mitch bash of the day. I feel that this is going to be a common theme. Hopefully we hear it every time.
I always like to bring them up.
All right. Well, that's another episode down. Follow us, send us funny comments, rate us, go to iTunes, give us 5 stars. And if you want to talk shit, still leave us 5 stars and leave us a shitty comment. We prefer that.
Yeah.
But other than that, have a good night. Signing out. Here's Trevor. Steve.
Yeah.
Have a great night. Sean. Pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure speaking with you, and hopefully we see you on the show again.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.